Welcome back, everybody. Wrapping up our first hour of Hot Mic Live on location here in Wahpeton. Cody Mauch's second annual football camp about to get going here at the top of the hour. 2 different sessions going today. Another one coming up later this afternoon. We got a really cool guest here to wrap up our first hour. He is the newest Bison offensive lineman to be drafted. Boy, the fact we got to say that is pretty darn cool. It's so great to see Grey Zabel from Pierce, South Dakota, the 18th overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft by the Seattle Seahawks. Last time we chatted, you were just North Dakota State offensive lineman. Now you're a Seattle Seahawk, man. Congratulations. What's that? How's that sound now? It's been a couple months.
Man, it still sounds surreal. Still got to wake up and kind of pinch yourself and be grateful for the position I'm in. And obviously, a lot of credit to be given out to a lot of people to get me to where I'm at today.
All right, so it seems like everything has gone viral that you've either said or done since the draft. What has that been like?
Yeah, you just really got to be careful what you say moving forward now. So I think they've gone viral in all the best ways.
Yes.
So knock on wood that trend continues. So.
All right, so give us the backstory. I know we chatted before the draft. Seattle was one of the teams certainly talking to you. So I know you couldn't have been really surprised when that came up. But still, when the phone call came from Mike McDonald and John Schneider, describe that emotion and what that was like. All right, here's Seattle on the board.
It was surreal. It was a really cool experience because, like, as you go through the entire process, like you said, you have no decision to where you go. So you just have to keep an open mind. And I remember telling my dad, like, at 6 o'clock before the draft, my dad's asking me questions as we're standing outside, and I was like, Dad, I have no idea. And he was like, okay, like what to expect, like all this. And for some reason, I wasn't very nervous throughout the day. I mean, we played golf in the morning, but I wasn't nervous throughout the day. And then as the draft kind of starts progressing and stuff, I want to say it was like 3 offensive linemen in the top 10 picks or something. I was like, okay, that's going to help out my chances a lot. And then the Cowboys took Tyler Booker, who was an unbelievable football player, and I was like, okay, there goes the 4th one. And so we're sitting downstairs in my basement. I still remember we're just watching the TV, and it says, like, the Bengals pick is in. And I was like, oh, I haven't got a phone call yet. So
it's not them.
No Bengals. Right. And then right as I think that, my phone starts ringing. And it's weird because everyone's kind of talking and stuff in the background, and nobody really, like, notices it. And I just, like, show my dad the phone number, and it was from Renton, Washington. And my dad was just like, you could just see his, like, eyes just light up. And so I answer a phone call and stuff, and then people kind of start realizing what's happening.
Quiet down.
Yeah. And it's so weird because you don't really notice it, but I think, like, the draft screen or, like, the television copy is a little bit behind.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Because it's like I got the phone call, we talked, all that stuff, and then, like, 2 or 3 minutes later is when it was actually, like, up on the screen and stuff. So what a surreal and neat experience, like, unbelievable.
The fact that you had everybody there, all the people closest to you that you wanted there, how did that add to the moment?
Man, it's just everybody that helped kind of get me to where I'm at. Like, my day one people just all being there to celebrate and wanting to celebrate me that day, where I should be celebrating them every single day because they helped me achieve that kind of goal, lifelong dream of mine. So what a cool experience. I mean, even Coach Larson and Coach Paul said got to come down and stuff. So
at the last, and they brought Jet with them as well. So they got there like the last, like around the 8th pick is what I think Coach P told me.
Yeah, that sounds about right. They came walking in, and Coach P immediately screams, like, fire up. And I'm, like, downstairs in the basement. I'm like, oh, Coach P got here. Like, so.
That's fantastic. We were over, our Sam Getzinger was over at the community center hall, similar to what you experienced with Cody had his and then everybody came back the next night. So what was that experience like?
Yeah, so what a crazy deal. So we were thinking, like, hey, should we do something Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday and stuff? And my agent was like, hey, just have a party Friday. Just kind of expect, like, to be a day 2 pick. And so my mom's like, so do you want to, like, be there or not? And I was like, at the moment, I'm like, no, I'm going to be way too nervous. Like, I can't have that many people around me. So I don't know how Cody did it. Like, and then it kind of, you start happening, and I wasn't very nervous. And I was like, oh, okay, like, that's different and stuff. But then we get drafted, so we celebrate Thursday night. And I remember it was way too late. And I think we celebrated into Friday morning. And I remember waking
Gotta
up
do it,
Friday
man.
morning, and they're like, the Seahawks are like, hey, we're going to fly you out, blah, blah. And I was like, hey, I don't mean to start off on the wrong foot, but if I'm not here for my draft party tonight, like, you guys won't have me because my mom's going to kill me. Like, she would be so furious that I missed the party as she planned for weeks and weeks and weeks. Like, okay, no worries, we'll have you come out Saturday.
That's awesome.
And
that's really good.
Yeah, it was super cool. And they're like, yeah, have fun, celebrate, like all that. And so then we're eating breakfast Friday morning. My dad's just sitting there, and he's like, man, we got to do this all over again.
Like it's a bad thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. But, man, what a time. And,
man.
pure community, just unbelievable. They showed up. They supported me. It was awesome.
It seems like the fans of Seattle have embraced you. You've already went out. You threw the first pitch at a Mariners game. You got the old baseball traits back. How did that go?
I thought it went well. They had me warming up
Yeah.
in a hallway, like, underneath the stadium. And where my dad's like, what could possibly go wrong and stuff. Like, people walking by everywhere as I'm trying to, like, warm up. And then
When's the last time you threw a baseball, honestly?
Probably last summer when I was playing for the Matador Monsters, the amateur team that Coach P had no idea about. With those guys, I'd come down and pitch and play third base for them. So that,
How often did you do that?
whenever I could, I probably like 2 or 3 times.
That's
over
so
the summer.
good. That's fantastic. Okay, so you did. So you got out there on the mound, and then what's that emotion like?
Don't mess up.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sitting there and, like, it's the worst thing ever because you go walking out and you're like, oh, 60 feet, 6 inches. Like, that's not very far. And then you go walking out and it's just like you're a mile away. And there's thousands and thousands of fans
30,000
there.
people there.
And I'm like, just get it close. Just get it close. And it's even worse because a buddy texted me and he's like, hey, don't miss. Like, don't miss your pitch tonight. You'll go, like, famous and stuff. And I was like, oh, boy, please, just get it close.
So now let's talk on the actual football stuff here. I know you got to get going. We got a couple minutes left with you. The rookie camp, mini camp, OTA. What was the? You haven't had maybe the welcome the NFL experience yet, but what was the first couple of drills like that go?
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, it's so good to have a kind of O-line room like we do out in Seattle. A lot of young guys, so then they know kind of what you're struggling with, what questions you're going to have. So then they start helping you out with that. And then it's like they're telling me things that, like, hey, by the way, like, make sure you get extra rehab on Wednesday night because the Thursday practice is going to be a little tougher and stuff. So understanding things like that is super important. And then it went well. Like, we had a great time. OTAs went really well. We had, like, I want to say, like, perfect attendance amongst the entire team. And so a lot of guys were happy about that. And then, I mean, I kind of had a welcome to the NFL moment when Leonard Williams is right across from me, and he, like, knows what play we're running before we even run the play. And I'm just like, okay, that's not fair. He's year 11 and a really, really good football player. So, yeah. I remember just telling my dad that. I was like, I'm going to get better in practice this year by going up against these guys.
The fact you get out there and you see Jalen Sundell, I mean, that's got to be surreal.
Yeah, the first day we were out there, he came to a facility and stuff and gave me a big hug. So I was like, okay, like, I'm right at home.
Yeah.
Like, really good buddy. So
the fact that you obviously played next to him for quite a few games as well, it's got to feel pretty good. Obviously, he's fighting for a spot as well, but you guys are right in the same boat again like you were about 4 or 5 years ago.
Exactly. And he's unbelievable teammate, unbelievable person. I don't know if he's getting sick of me yet with how many questions I'm asking. And, like, he just has an answer every single time, which is awesome. And then a few questions, he's like, I'm not sure about that. You're going to have to ask somebody else. I was like, all right, sounds good.
So I was following this. The schedule came out, and the Buccaneers are going to the Seahawks. So
October 5th.
Okay. So obviously the trash talking has begun then?
Yeah. And the worst part is all of Cody's teammates, like, came out for his wedding this past weekend.
Yeah.
And so I'm getting to introduce all of them and stuff. And then Cody, every single time, he's like, this is Gray. We're going to beat him October 5th. And I was like, all right, come on. Like, we're already bringing the smack talk in as I'm meeting your teammates.
That's fantastic. What do you think that's going to be like, though, man? Just there's going to be so many surreal and moments this year, but that one's got to stick out for you, I have to imagine.
It's going to be awesome. I mean, just the amount of family and friends from both sides, me and Cody, coming out for that game is going to be like, I got to feel like the Midwest is going to be well represented and Lumen Field that day because of the Mauk family's obviously going to travel well. All of Cody's
Certainly
fans going to travel well.
The Zabel family's going to travel well.
Yeah, the Zabels are coming too because it's like my parents like want to see Joe and Stacy and all those guys.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be a fun game.
I got to ask, with everything that's happened here, has there been a moment where you just be able to sit down and just contemplate, wow, this all has happened in the last 2 months?
Yeah.
Have you had time to do that yet?
Yeah, I would say the plane ride back this past Friday for Cody's wedding, I sat on that plane, and I was just sitting there thinking, like, wow, like, what a surreal, like, past 2 months this has been. Like, everything you could have possibly dreamed of is, like, coming to fruition. Like, and you don't really get a lot of time because it's just, like, you're going, like, nonstop. And I would say, like, that plane ride back where it's like, hey, I get a break. I get to be back in the Midwest. I get to see all my buddies, like, and then you start realizing, like, how truly blessed you are to be, one, in an opportunity, and then two, to have unbelievable people around you. I mean, like, it's just one of one, and it's a surreal moment, and you get to catch up with so many people, and I feel like there's 3 weeks isn't long enough because you see somebody every single day, and you're like, oh my God, I haven't seen them in forever, and then next day you're like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in forever. And so like you just keep on talking. It's like the more people you run into, the more you realize, like, holy cow, this is pretty awesome.
A couple minutes left here with Gray. Then 2 days after you get drafted, QB1 goes to the Raiders. What was that? I know you were in the midst of doing your stuff in Seattle. Do you have a chance to communicate with Cam after he got picked?
Yep. So I witnessed Cam get picked on the TV because we're in the cafeteria eating.
So you saw Tommy Malott get picked,
So I see
right?
Tommy Malott get picked. And I remember, like, we're sitting there eating. I remember telling my dad, and I was like, Tommy Malott just got picked before Cam, like, all this. And then it's, like, Raiders and then a pick, and then the Raiders pick again. And then as we're sitting there eating and stuff, and I'm just kind of thinking, like, God, Cam's got to get a call soon. Cam's got to get a call soon. And then it's like, Cam Miller from North Dakota State. And I looked up there, and it's the Raiders. And I was like, oh, my God. Cam just got picked. Like, I immediately started texting him and stuff, all this, and I was so fired up, and I know he's going to take that opportunity and run with it. That's just the type of human being he is.
The fact that Tom Brady knew about him, I mean, what does that mean?
That's sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, as he should. I mean, he should get his flowers and then some because Cam is an unbelievable person, player, competitor. I know he's going to succeed wherever he's at, and I thought the Vegas pick was awesome for him.
A couple minutes left here. When Cody asked you to be part of this, tell me your reaction of wanting to be bound here today.
Yes. When do I got to show up?
Yeah.
What paperwork do I got to sign to allow me to do this? And he was like, you don't need paperwork. I'll just get you a T-shirt and stuff. Like, I appreciate it. I was like, yeah, 100%, because just to be able to give back to the community, to the Midwest, to North Dakota, like, sign me up.
Was there a camp you went to as a kid that left an impact? Like, you know, Cody was mentioning he went to one with Phil Hansen's camp when he was a kid. Like, oh, this stuck. Was there anything like that you had that had a memory, like with football or with any kind of sport that I want to follow that path?
Gosh, I would just say, like, every single year that we had this Little Govs camp. It's a basketball camp, and I just remember, like, Michael Tweet was there.
Oh man, there you go.
To NDSU and played. So I just remember going to camps like that, just growing up, and then seeing those guys go on and play Division I sports, and it's like, that's really cool. And then to kind of do this, so I mean, I love being down here. Cody's and Cordell's, it's like I should have a notepad because taking notes about, like, hey, because obviously I want to be able to do something like this in the future, and so take notes like, hey, this worked really well. Be prepared for this, like, just moving forward. So I should definitely be taking notes while being here.
The Zabel name is going to keep going. How's Jet giving us an insight, like, for Jet for me to get on the field this year and maybe make an impact with the 2025 Bison?
Yeah, I took him to Texas Roadhouse last night with the Zen brothers, and I was forcing food into his body because he's got to gain weight. But
what's he at right now?
I want to say, like, high 220s, low 230s and stuff. So I was like, start eating. Like, you think you're going to be big enough, and then you're going to run a slant or try and block a DN, and you're going to feel like a paperweight because I've been there before. I was like, just keep eating.
The last thing, I mentioned this with Mason. I know you've seen the photo I put out with the entire offensive line now with you in it, Mason in it, all in the NFL. What's that mean to you?
Well, two things. One, what a offensive line coach we had the past few years with Coach Larson, and then two, just the culture at NDSU. I mean, I've been removed from NDSU for 6 months now, and it's like you don't appreciate what you have until it's gone. And I tell Coach P, I was golfing with him Sunday night. I was like, Coach P, like it's different. Like we go and I train with everybody and all this. What we have at NDSU is different, and if it's high school recruits, guys there right now, guys that graduated, like, you know what I'm talking about. But a lot of people out there don't. It's like, it's truly different. The brotherhood, the culture, the want to win, the competition, the standard. And I'm so grateful to have went to NDSU, and then you see a picture like that, and then it just like, yep, now you can understand. Like, some of my best friends, I mean, I always say Cordell Volson was like an older brother to me. Tough love, but when he knew I needed to be picked up, he was right there lifting me up. So, and then Cody was the same exact way, and then obviously Jay Kubis is a guy that I'm just praying that we continue our friendship for the rest of my life. But at the same time, like, every single time we see each other, it's an unbelievable time. Yep. So it's like we're going to have to start being smarter as we get older. But no, it's super cool, man. And I know there's going to be more pictures like that moving forward. Even if it's our wide receivers out there or QBs, it's just it's the program NDSU is building is something that's truly remarkable.
It's great to see you, man. I know you got to get going. Thanks so much for the time. Congratulations,
all
right, bud? Be well, and we'll talk soon, all right?
Appreciate it. Thanks for
Grey
having me.
Zabel now, the Seattle Seahawks, joining us here. We're way overdue for a break, so we'll get caught up here. Second hour coming up. We're back live in Wahpeton after this.